Greetings, Epiphany Parish, the Diocese of Olympia, the Episcopal Church, and the Anglican Communion family. It's one of my greatest honors to serve as chair of the American Friends for the Episcopal Diocese of Jerusalem, also referred to often as AFEDJ. AFEDJ is essentially the funding arm for people in the U.S., Episcopal Church or any church, and anyone else in the world who wishes to gather funds and to share and to help aid the amazing ministries, schools, hospitals, centers for children with disabilities, and others which operate within the Episcopal Diocese of Jerusalem. Some of these institutions, such as the Holy Land Institute for the Deaf in Salt, Jordan, is the only such institution of its kind in all of the Middle East. And having visited that institution, I can tell you the care is superb, and yet it is the only such institution in all of the Middle East. In Gaza, Ali Arab Hospital is simply an amazing operation run by the most loving people in a situation that most of you watching this video could never imagine. And yet every day, 24 hours a day, they incarnate the presence of Christ in that small strip of land, a prison really, filled with over 2 million people. This is just two of the over 24 amazing ministries supported by AFEDJ and run by this small but mighty band of Anglican Christians in the land of the Holy One. For those of you who know me, I think you know that the last thing I really need is to chair even one more thing. And yet when I was asked to serve as chair of AFEDJ, nothing has ever seemed so right, and I was so eager to do it. Why? Because there's just about no organization, no people, no situation I most want to lend my efforts and time to than the living stones, which is what we call the Christians. So few Christians who dwindle by the day in number, but whose strength, dedication, resilience, and hope are simply one of the most miraculous and inspiring things I've ever witnessed. I hope you will consider giving and giving generously so that the living stones can keep the place of Jesus alive with Jesus and to continue to work toward the beloved community there and across this globe.
Salam and peace from Jerusalem, the city of peace and the city of the resurrection. We have come together in order to celebrate life, to celebrate Jesus' ministry in the land of the Holy One, where Jesus walked, preached, died and rose again from the dead. He has entrusted us with a ministry of reconciliation and healing and restoration. And He has commanded us that whatever we do for the least of these little ones, we do it for Him personally. We do this ministry not on behalf of the Diocese of Jerusalem and the people of Jerusalem, but on behalf of the wide world church. So let us join hands so that we can make a difference in people's lives.
This is Ali Arab Hospital. It is the oldest hospital in the Gaza Strip and the only Christian hospital.
It's truly one of the great privileges of my work to be a friend of Suhaila's and to visit Ali Hospital regularly before the pandemic. And when I visit, I always walk the quarter mile between the Erez border crossing and the first Palestinian checkpoint. When I get to the checkpoint, it's crowded and chaotic. I have no Arabic. So I simply say to the first person I encounter, Ali Hospital. He puts his hand over his heart. He takes my hand and he leads me to the van where Suhaila and a driver wait. Hand over heart again, he thanks Suhaila. Everybody in Gaza knows Suhaila and everyone respects Suhaila.
The hospital is very important for Gaza people, in particular the poor. We are providing health care to those who are in need. We cover services in medical services, in general surgery, general medicine, gynecology, obstetrics, pediatrics, orthopedic, urology, and special attention has been given to the health of women and the children. About 50% of our children under 5 years of age, they are suffering from underweight and malnutrition. Also burn children because of poverty, because of long hours of electricity cut off. People depend upon candles at their home, using wood to do their cooking. So many accidents, burn accidents, comes to the hospital. I'm taking this opportunity, really, to talk on behalf of the patients Ahli Arab Hospital serve. Ahli Arab Hospital staff and management, how much we are grateful to those who are sharing us the responsibility of saving the lives of many thousands. May God bless you and thank you, thank you, thank you.
So think about all these young people who before coming to us were curled in a corner in their houses because their parents did not know how to interact with them, did not know how to care for them. We serve people with real poverty, people who cannot afford to care for their own children. Some of our students, when they go home, they're not well cared for, and we can see that evidently on them when they come back.
If HLID were not here, deaf students would not be able to achieve anything. It would be downhill from now on. We'd go back to what we'd had before, being in the streets and not knowing anything, being illiterate. I might have been illiterate if HLID had not been here for me.
We are the only school for the deaf that offers the deaf vocational training.
I train students on how to work with metal. We are different than other schools for the deaf because we have vocational departments. Other schools only have the educational side, but we have vocational training, academic, and community building. They can earn their own money and be productive people in the community.
When I first came to kindergarten, I wasn't able to understand what the teacher was telling us, what the numbers were, or my name, or anything. But then it was like my eyes opened with God's grace. Even though I was older, I was able to quickly catch up with the other students. I was the first deaf student in SALT to enroll in college. I was the second deaf student to enroll in college in all of Jordan. That gave me the inspiration to work hard with these students so that they can have a better education.
It's part of our duty to walk in Jesus' footsteps, and to walk in Jesus' footsteps we need to walk with other people, especially with the needy, especially with people with disabilities. If we don't hold their hands and walk with them, I don't think we can call ourselves true Christians. I don't think we can be the living stones of the church unless we do this ministry.
المدرسة كانوا هم مش عارفين، صرت أحكي لهم انتوا شو بتكملوا بإسرائيل؟ أنا بعرف آكل وبعرف أشرب، بعمل كل إشي حالي، انتوا شو بتكملوا بإسرائيل؟ لما ما كانوا يقبلوني المدارس كنت أفكر إنه جاء عبالي أصير مثل الطلاب. أنا لما أروح المدرسة ما حد بيضايقني، بالعكس هم بيساعدوني. نفسي إني أروح الشارع لحالي، بس أنا ولا بعمري قدرت. يعني أنا اللي زمان بحلم بهالإشي. أنا لما أكبر جاء عبالي أصير محامية عشان أصير اللي بده مساعدة أساعده.
Hello, I'm Frank Lawler. All of us on Epiphany's service and outreach team thank you for being with us this evening, either at church or watching from home. We hope tonight's program conveys what AFEDJ does for the humanitarian institutions in the Diocese of Jerusalem. We especially hope you have seen how much places like Ali Hospital, the Holy Land Institute for the Deaf, and the Princess Basma Center truly mean to the people they serve. As many of you know, American Friends is just one of the nonprofit partners that Epiphany Parish has long supported through your financial generosity.
Epiphany has worked with the YWCA since the 1970s, helping families and women in crisis get back on their feet and into stable housing. Since 1987, Teen Feed has not missed a single night of its hot meal service to homeless young people in the University District. Teen Feed's outreach teams connect young people to social services that help them get jobs and housing. Every night, Operation Night Watch gives people a hot meal and then directs them to an emergency shelter. Night Watch also provides housing for low-income seniors. The Haiti Micah Project rescues abandoned children from the worst slums of Midabala, Haiti, giving them loving care, education, and hope for a decent future. Nicholas Fund for Education supports students at Nicholas Christian School deep in the Guatemalan highlands, where education for the rural poor is itself very poor.
When we give these organizations our financial help, they in turn help us to serve our neighbor as we are called to do as followers of Christ. You can give to specific organizations or to the Outreach General Fund. Gifts to the General Fund can be distributed where needs are most urgent, including to other organizations such as Backpack Brigade, Episcopal Relief and Development, and the Low Income Housing Institute's Tiny Houses program. We hope you will be generous this evening. Thank you for being with us and with our many neighbors.